would be injected into your bloodstream, and they would hunt out those cancerous cells and kill them. So, which is better than you taking chemotherapy, which kills every damn thing.
Yeah.
Well,
They also offer, with this mammogram, they have a new technology, AI thingy. Now, you can do your annual traditional mammogram that they've done for years, and by the time, if it's detected by the time you get that mammogram is already basically detecting what's there. So you're already pretty much dying or have to have your boob cut off. By the time you take that mammogram. Now they have the AI one, if you want, can actually detect it way before it's detectable to help you along, but you've got to pay an extra $200.
Well, just like the movies, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, that will be a reality, and hopefully it will be sooner than later.
Yeah. But I just think, well, what's the point of taking the traditional mammogram then if it's really not going to do me any good, because I'll already be in those stages, where I'm practically dying already.
So who's laughing like a baboon in the background?
That's my husband.
I thought it was.
Star Trek.
I thought it was John's. I thought it was John's brother.
Oh no, he's watching some funny videos right now, and so he's just laughing.
Yeah.
Okay.
The things that we see with the doctor on Star Trek when he takes the scanner, and it's, they got scanners like that now.
Yeah,
that they can damn near scan a whole car with. Now all this has to do is be incorporated where it can be used as a biological function. But that stuff is going to be reality.
Okay, I have to say one thing, and then we have to start the show with my intro. So, Suzette, I haven't had a mammogram in 10 years, and I refuse to get another colonoscopy because the last time I drank that liquid and I never pooped.
But you should have took some colon cleanse right behind.
That stuff is nasty.
I didn't poop the whole night. I'm the only person in America that didn't poop.
It sounds like you need some milk and magnesia.
I hate to ask, but were most of the technicians male or female? And are there any openings? And what's the qualifications if you want to be a technician to do that work?
You really want to be the person to do the mammogram I can see, but the colonoscopy.
Well, someone has to like do some of the prep work, right?
Well, I don't know how they do it nowadays because I haven't been there in 10 years.
Dang. Or is it the woman goes and like, here, stick it out, put it here, and slam, or is it like you get your choice?
No.
They put you between a wooden.
Yeah, they carefully place your boob on this cold thingy and smash it with clear plastic tape.
Isn't it like they put you in an X-ray and your back is squished with your boob?
What?
Isn't it like a sit-up X-ray machine where they flatten your boobs out?
Yes. So I scoot my wheelchair up to the machine, and then she tells me to keep scooting up until I can place my boob on there, and then the plastic thing that comes down and smashes it.
The show has started.
Go ahead.
The show has started.
The show has started, and we're already in the R zone.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Whoops.
I thought John wanted to do colonoscopies. Okay.
I think that he wouldn't mind that either as a second career.
Okay, well, I'm going to start the show now, you guys. So there's a new bill in the Senate that passed with a government shutdown. It was like an extra provision that, you know how they always sneak things in there? It will give any public service person, not just Republicans, they can sue the government up to $500,000 if their phone records are tapped without notification. In other words, after the January 6th thing, 10 senators had their phones, like investigated. And there was some kind of thing having to do with Jack Frost. I don't have the material in front of me now, but a guy named Jack Frost, he had some kind of anger against the government for intrusiveness. So what it basically boils down to is it's putting the rights back to the individual versus government's ability to go through your phone records and emails. It's giving leverage to the particular public servants to say, okay, I'm going to sue you for $500,000 if you even dare to go into my record. So then Suzette and I were talking earlier. This is the last of my intro. Senator Grassley from Iowa, he's literally been in Congress since 1959. He's 92 years old. I guess he did some positive work on tax reformation, but they were giving him crap about something because they said some of his investigations he's done in the Senate now, he started out in Congress, have been too partisan. In the past, I guess he was more ethical, and he was one of the people being scrutinized if this bill passes, if he's going to take action against the government. But I just can't imagine someone being in public office that long. He's been in office 66 years, 1 year longer than I was alive. So
a lot of them have been there for a long time.
Have you guys ever
I would rather have
go ahead.
Congress get rid of the Patriot Act, because there's still that part in there that allows them to spy and tap your phones if they consider you to be a terrorist or whatever. If you get put under that designation, they can still do it. So
that's a really good point. And I was in the AT&T store a week ago because strangely enough, my SIM card got melted onto my old case, and they had to replace my SIM card with an eSIM card. And I asked the clerk, what's the funniest story you've had to deal with in the last 2 weeks? And they said a public official came into the store and they demanded that the AT&T service member wipe out their phone clean from emails and texts, or that they would have their job. So it was the week of the election, and that's what an elected official came into the store and told the AT&T clerk, like, I'm going to have your job if you don't do this right.
They just think that they have all the power in the world to do something like that.
Yeah, and then my friend Billy Brooks said that there's going to be records on it somewhere, like on some server. So, like, it's not like it's ever going to be wiped clean. So, anyways, that's kind of a flimsy introduction. But also this week, Trump called a reporter Piggy, and a Florida Congresswoman and her brother got charged for stealing FEMA funds. So would anybody like to approach any of those three topics on the...
They should go to jail. Simple as that. And, you talk about the person that's been there for 60 some odd years. There's a proposal now that has been accepted by 19 states, Article 5 convention. And one of the proposals is that there's term limits. Not only do elected federal officials, but also officials that's head of agency can only serve 18 years, then you gotta go. You're out.
Yeah, like I think 66 years, like after Patrick Leahy left and there was another long-serving senator, like a lot of them were in there well over 50 years. Like that's just insane.
Oh yeah, you got Feinstein.
She died, right?
Yeah, she did.
And then Barbara Boxer was there.
Minute.
Right. Ted Kennedy was in there a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Clay Higgins, it's time for him to go.
And Strom Thurmond.
Grassley.
Strom Thurmond was there a long time. And that Jesse guy from North Carolina, the one nobody liked. Jesse somebody. Well, anyways, who wants to start with delving into a topic?
Oh, I thought we just did.
Well, we can still.
I'm kidding.
But basically, do you guys think an individual should have that much power that if their phone records are being seized? Well, this is leading up to something bigger. Like now, all of a sudden, Trump reversed course and is going to expose all the Epstein files. But does anybody believe that some of the Epstein files will be secretly scrubbed before it ever gets to the public?
Oh, they were already scrubbed a long time ago after the first
that's
arrest.
why he's authorizing it now. That's why he's authorizing it now, because they probably have everything that they're going to have, and in some ways, it's relatively innocuous. I don't think it implicates him exactly with underage people, but he has the history of it with the rapes and all the. He owned the
Beauty pageants?
This teen universe pageant. And so he's been around these young girls for a long, long time. And they said that he violated Clinton, which is possible. Clinton's in a dress, and all that stuff.
I read tonight that Clinton went there 4 times, and it was for the Clinton Foundation. And there was at least 5 to 10 people on the plane every time he went. 5 Clinton Foundation employees.
Yeah, what did he do? What did they do that was illegal?
Like Don said, a lot of it's implicated.
Underage.
Yeah, what?
A lot of it's.
So where's the proof that they had sex with kids?
Supposedly, there's videos.
These ladies are all out here. Over 100 ladies. That's why right now, Epstein Files came out. His recording.
It was women that were trafficked, and there were some underage women there, or girls that were there, but most of
they're all testifying against Trump right now.
You had a lady that testified on overturn. She's seen nothing inappropriate from Donald Trump.
Exactly.
We don't know why it's always
and then too,
yeah.
if it's one lady saying he did and he's saying he didn't, then where's the tiebreaker?
99 of the ladies.
No. Each one stand on their own.
The only way is if he knocks somebody up.
But where's
he gave Clinton a blowjob.
Yeah, okay. Well, where's the proof? All this innuendo, and where's the crime? Where's the crime?
Well, we know what the crime is. We just don't know who did it.
Yeah.
You don't know who did it or if it happened.
Even if you did not commit a crime, if you were in the area and you know this, Jackie, if you know of something that is going on, then you are an exception.
It's not even circumstantial at this point.
Yeah, suppose they don't know.
Well, somebody knows something.
That's the reason Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison.
Until they have a law that people that make these acquisitions are stand a chance of being punished themselves, it's going to continue to go on.
Ghislaine Maxwell has already been prosecuted.
Okay, here's the deal, Bianchi. This has been circulating for 8 or 9 years. Well, Epstein killed himself in 2019, so that's 6 years.
Yeah, but people say he didn't kill himself. They say he was killed.
Well, I'm just trying to say that there's a lot of monkey business and a lot of things hidden from the public. We don't know what's in there, but people wanted to see.
Like Barack Obama's email that had just coming out with those Jeffrey Epstein files, and him and Hakeem Jeffries and their connections to Epstein as well. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff coming out.
Yeah, but if they connected to Epstein, where is the crime?
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's just connections isn't enough.
You must like it.
Who's saying that? So where's the people that witnessed this? That's just like that thing that went on with Alabama.
The girls who were banged and had to tuck Jeffrey Epstein in bed every night.
And then you had.
How do you know that? Is that on video?
Maxwell has already said, or they've already accused her of being a mistress to those kids.
Who accused her of that? You know,
Virginia Guffrey.
You got too many questions. Just like that woman that tried to accuse Mike Tyson of what he was supposed to have done. That's a bunch of bull crap.
All right, read Virginia Guffrey's book, Bianchi Bancoli.
There was nothing to do with Trump in that book.
And what's the crime? There's no crime.
Well, you're gonna have to go to Washington and find out.
I'm not going nowhere.
The crime is women were being exploited for years on end, and people didn't say anything. It was like a.
So how is
it?
Oh God! You got a woman. Wait a minute.
Don, I'm going to get more coffee.
Let's stop it. If you take Suzanne and Suzanne fly to the, and see, it's easy to find out who was on the plane. The planes keep it manifest. That's all they got. The boats and planes keep manifest. Anytime you pull up to a port, the custom agents know who's on that damn plane. It's all on the boat.
From a private airport.
It doesn't matter.
You don't necessarily have to have a manifest that you're flying from a private airport.
We still have to contact a airport controller to be able to navigate.
Not if you're driving from a private airport.
Nope, you do.
And you flying through the airways, when you flying through the airways, you have to have contact with a controller, even if you're flying other instruments.
But if you're, that's out of a public airport, out of a paid commercial airport. They got private airports everywhere that you do not have to manifest.
I've flown out of airports, and when I flew out of that airport, they knew who I was, and they knew who was on board with me.
If you didn't,
if you land at an airport, if I land at an airport, they gonna check and see what the hell's on the plane. If I pull up to a ship port, they're gonna do the same thing.
In most airports, yes. But in some private airports, they don't require it.
So where was the private airport? If he lands on the damn island, so what are you going to do, walk 40 miles to get someplace else?
That's his island. He damn near owned it. He owned the island pretty much.
If you take off into the national airways, they gonna know who you are. You gotta land someplace.
They should.
So you're gonna go from private airport to private airport? That's ridiculous.
It's not. It's normal. It's called freedom.
No, it's not, Don.
I think we should let John comment because he's done more research than any of us. But I regret bringing.
Do you have a pilot certificate with ratings? I do. I don't fly no more. I'm too old. Believe it or not.
Yeah, no, I took lessons, but I never got certified.
Well.
All right, Bianchi.
I know that here in Nevada, there are private airports. People can just take off.
And you know what? Let me tell you something about those private airports. They get paid for being a private airport. The FAA paid them for the ability for a plane in distress to land at their airport.
Exactly.
They get paid.
So what's the big deal?
Get paid just like any other instance. If you're taking government money, there's certain things that you got to abide by. And keeping a record and reporting your manifest is one of them.
If you are commercial or if you do something if you own your own plane at a private airport and own your own island, you can do whatever you want.
If you get paid, you can do what you get paid. But a commercial plane, a commercial jet is not going to normally land at no private airport. The runways is not long enough.
But they got private airplanes.
They don't have lights.
Yeah, but Larry Summers is also.
They have the Lolita Express.
You saw where Larry Summers
Exactly.
took leave of absence from Harvard, a professorship, because he's on that list.
Because he was friends with Epstein all those years, he even asked him for romance advice. How stupid.
Yeah, but that ain't illegal, is it?
How ugly that white
It's embarrassing. It's not that it's illegal.
Yeah, well, look, I'm not going to comment on that. No.
Okay, Bianca, you're in the dark ages. Everybody knows about the log. Who was on the logs? Who traveled how many times to Epstein Island? That's old news, for God's sake. It's been around for 8 years.
Right.
So, John, it's your turn to get controversial.
Oh, wow. Well, one thing, I know there's a show called To Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen. And nowadays, kind of how it works, if you do a sexual exploit, you meet a person, it's recorded, and say in the case of a prostitute, you approach them, right? And if she's undercover, she says, well, what do you want? And the guy will say, oh, I want to have sex. And she go, well, how much money? It has to be a stated act, a stated amount of money. Money exchanges hands, and then they go, oh, you're arrested, you're busted, and, you're under arrest. Or in Chris Hansen's case, the guy has, text, emails, shows up, and then has a conversation. It's video recorded, and they go, oh, the girl leaves the room to go to the bathroom, and boom, they come in there and go, why are you here? What were you trying to do? And they bust him. So in the case of Trump, what you need to have is videotape of him making an offer, or wanting to exchange the services, or here's a video of him with the minor, and this is the tape or the exchange or the email or the text, and you go, now Bill Clinton is all over the place with this, so are a lot of other people, but the problem is we don't have the video, don't have the correspondence, we just have flight logs. So I think it's kind of a weak case situation. You've got to have actual, now there are pictures of Bill Clinton with Epstein and traveling and getting a massage by, either Virginia Guthrie or one of these other people. And it is documented in a book, his conversation. She says, do you like this? He said, can you go a little lower? And everyone on the plane laughs. But again, that's not evidence that he had sex with her, so I would say it's kind of a weak case, from
why are people so obsessed with it still? Like, why does it keep rising in the news every 6 months?
The Democrats are fishing for anything they can.
The problem is, there's the problem. The problem is, why are people so obsessed? Because there's video. He videoed everything. He had cameras in Manhattan. He had cameras down in Florida. He had cameras at it's an island. What's it called? It's called St. James Island.
Yes.
Pedo Island nickname. And of course, Disney had a cruise line that would go by there, and they actually would advertise. You can go to Little St. James and snorkel and see dolphins and all kinds of stuff. And so there was a problem. There were witnesses, like workers that worked on the island, who said, yeah, we'd have people come back and forth, to the island. And a lot of bad things were going on. But again, problem is you have to bring evidence, right? A girl can say, John Yoder was on Hollywood Boulevard, which I am every weekend, and he had sex with me. And they go, okay, well, I did talk to some girls. I actually have had girls come up and hug me, and I don't know their age. And there's video of me, saying hi to them. But I'm on a public place, so there has to be actual conversation. Like, did I offer sex or want sex?
Is it consensual sex?
Ooh, it's consensual.
With a 15-year-old girl, yeah, okay, Bianchi. I'm about ready to think that you kind of like you a little young if you don't.
So 25 years ago, if a 25 years ago, if a 21-year-old slept with a 16-year-old, it wasn't a big deal.
Is it okay in your country, Bianchi, and Egypt?
That ain't got anything to
You heard?
Another thing is, where is his island at? Is his island is that an American possession?
No, it was in the Caribbean, I think.
He's in the Caribbean. Who laws are they breaking there?
If it was Muhammad and she's Muslim, she'd be 9 years old, like Aisha, or 6 years old, and then at 9, he delivered the goods, as far as allegedly.
The reason this is going the direction it's going because you got idiots out there that still want to try to bring Donald Trump down.
You're
I
damn.
agree with Don.
That's true.
What Don said earlier about fishing, it's a Democratic playbook. You got to revert back to something when they're in panic as far as, oh no, we may lose the upcoming terms, so we need to smear him and anybody associated with him.
If they had something on Trump, they would have buried him. Biden would have done it. Obama would have, pressed a few buttons. Pelosi wanted him bad, right? They wanted blood. But, again, a big key is even if there was, I don't think, there's the evidence that they have the videotape, but they would either deleted it, buried it, or it's hidden somewhere. But the point is, there's, for whatever, every minute of Donald Trump, there's going to be 2 minutes of Bill Clinton. And there's going to be Chris Rock, there's going to be Kevin Spacey, there's going to be Ghislaine with, all the other celebrities. Prince Andrew's going to be all over the thing.
Well, Prince Andrew.
They show him leaving a house, and he's waving goodbye to the girl, and then he sees the cameras and he hides. He hung out for two weeks with Epstein in Manhattan, and it's loaded with underage girls. Go ahead.
Actually, Prince Andrew got defrocked.
Yeah, but John, Trump sucked Clinton's dick.
Would you be quiet? That's Don. I'm gonna knock you into next week.
Trump likes 19 to 21-year-old girls. He doesn't like 13-year-olds. He has beauty pageants. He has girls.
The girl in the United States is an adult when she's 18, right?
He loves that stuff.
He also loves men. So what do you think about that,
He's
John?
very loyal to Melania.
Okay, I'm taking you off speaker, Don, if you keep it up.
You have to believe him when he says that.
All right, here's the deal. It's been going around and around in the news for almost a decade. I actually don't want to hear about it anymore. I'm sick of it.
Me too. Here.
But I was shocked when I was shocked when Trump released the files.
The previous thing with Barack Obama is that he was elected, accepted as a president, and he was not Article 2 eligible.
Why do you have to bring that and Kamala Harris up on every single show? Why?
It's a crime.
Well, the big here's a question for you, all of you. Epstein videoed everything, right? Okay, since 1998 or whatever, and he had the islands. He bought it in '98, and then it got bigger and bigger. I think they started bringing in power and all this other stuff around 2005, 2006, around about the time Trump disconnected Epstein. They're not friends. What they have on record is Epstein hates Trump, and after 2009, Epstein got out, and then all the celebrities, all the ABC, NBC, like Nancy Kirk and Stephanopoulos and Chelsea Handler and a whole bunch of people got together. Oh, and what's the attorney guy? That's always commenting on it. They had a big dinner, but the problem is these news companies once they found out that Prince Andrew was having problems, the royals said, no Prince William, no King Charles, none of this stuff. You don't get interviews unless you drop this. And they all backed up. They said, okay, we want those interviews. You know, we want Kate, and we want Meghan and Martin, and Prince Harry. So they buried anything they had. But here's the thing: there isn't one video of some girl, underage or overage, having sex with someone. That he videoed everything for 20 years. There has to be a vault of stuff.
That's what I'm saying. So John was the attorney Mark Garagos.
Who has it? Who buried? Who has it? FBI seized it, right?
Ghislaine Maxwell has it as collateral.
Oh wow.
That's why she.
Well, videoing people without their knowledge is against the law. Same thing is with recording a conversation.
They're in St. James Island in Costa Rica. They're not under the complete auspices of our law.
Well, you gonna try to use it in a U.S. court?
You can use international. You can use anything you want in any court you want.
So
who's gonna punish him?
Well, I mean, he emanated his trips from the United States, so therefore it's.
So he was out of the jurisdiction of the United States.
It was also like Puff Daddy. He recruited girls from practically all 50 states, maybe like 20 states.
Well, that's the problem. Trump, its fallout is that Trump got mad at Epstein because he was poaching his employees at Mar-a-Lago.
Well, he hit on a minor, and Trump said, "I don't want this in my place," and kicked him out for good. But you have these Democrats that were dancing at MIT. MIT was big supporting of Epstein. They donated like $4 million, right? And they had to back down, and a lot of these guys got fired. Oh, actually, I'm sorry.
Did you know why, John? Though,
like $4 million, and they had all these things they were building in Epstein's, honor, and then suddenly they have to back up.
That's because he donated a lot of money to MIT, and
here's a fun fact.
And Epstein was a math teacher at a private school.
Almost all of Epstein's donors were Democrats. And Trump was a Democrat back then. He was besties with the Clintons. So that's the problem, is you wonder why this isn't going to roll forward. Is because of the base of it, there were some Republicans probably, but the point is the big names are the Democrats. So,
did you guys know that before Epstein was an investment banker, he was a private school math teacher in the ritzy part of New York, and he just think of what kind of teacher he must have been.
Yeah, well, what was illegal about those things, Jane?
Well, you're gonna have to listen to the girl's account of them, how he snuck and he tricked them, and then he took their pants off, and they had to tuck them in bed.
Who complained about that?
Bianchi's having a problem.
The girls themselves. Jesus.
Did they go to the police, or what did they do?
Yes, eventually they all did.
James Bianchi does not have a problem with underage sex. It's his culture, so you gotta kind of give it to him.
Well, this thing is getting so weird.
Everything is weird. Life is weird, James. The biggest problem in sex crimes is that nobody reviews rape kits. There are every state is either 2 to 4 years behind in processing rape kits. That's because they don't want to process rape kits.
So I'm just glad that I became a Catholic, because in the old days,
How was a 13-year-old
in the old days
girl
when I was
Epstein
25,
Island? Where's their parents?
what?
How is it that 12-year-old girls is on Epstein's Island? Where's their parents?
They were.
Giving them to Epstein. They're making money.
Epstein would trick them, saying that I am gonna give you like $5,000 for your college tuition. Before they knew it, they were on a.
A parent agreed to put
No,
their
they didn't
child
agree
up
to have
for
sex.
sexual exploits?
No,
So why have the parents?
he
why
tricked
the parents
them.
aren't being charged?
He tricked him with date rape. Oh,
In
God.
Hollywood, they do that all the time. Don't come home until you make $1 million.
He tricked him with date rape drugs and stuff. You think it was all on the up and up? And that
You
Grizz,
can't give them date rape drugs if they're not there. So how did they get there? The parents didn't report their child missing. All this didn't occur.
I'll tell you how it happened. Jazane Maxwell hung out in front of ritzy private schools and told girls like that I have a lucrative cleaning job. Then they got him in the mansion, and then they said like your job today is to give Jeffrey Epstein a massage. And then before they knew it, he was on top of them trying to pluck their private parts. Like,
you're reading Yankee porn. You're reading porn, Jane.
What took down Epstein is that there were some girls he was paying. Ghislaine recruited him, and he was paying them, like $100, and then here's a couple hundred more if you do this and do that, and then and she was grooming him. So what happens is this gal comes home, this girl, and the parents find out she's got like $400 or $500, and like, how'd you get all this money? And she fessed up. So then they reported to the local authorities, and they surveilled and did a sting, and it's like sure enough he's got 3 or 4 of these gals. But the interesting thing is, remember Epstein had a big picture in his house, and it was of Bill Clinton wearing the dress of Monica as a painting, and he's got his legs crossed on a couch. And he also
gross.
What happened is that his money came from Lex Wexner, who owned Victoria's Secrets and Elle agency.
All his money came from there.
And Les basically had him in charge of his whole organization. So that's how he got Manhattan. That's how he got Florida. That's how he got the island. Lex owned those things, and Epstein was running all the books. And Lex, he probably extorted him, right? And basically, like, okay, I'm not going to throw you down if you let me get this and that.
You just said probably. That don't mean that.
Epstein got convicted in southern Florida, and he had to serve 180 days.
Here's a question: someone's running your books, and you give them $2 billion worth of properties and money.
You know he gave them $2 billion.
Because that's what his properties were worth. Plus, he was right. Because Epstein used to boast, "I'm a billionaire," and
that don't mean anything. I know people say they. Billionaires, they got $49.95.
Well, if you own prime Manhattan place, if you own prime Florida, if you own a place in Europe, if you own your whole island, I think you can do the math on it. He had a lot of money, and he's running. And when they pulled his bank, there was over 500,000 that they yanked out.
Right, but the point John's trying to make, I think, is that okay, so we know he had all this money. Epstein, that is. We know he donated money to schools. We know that he donated, as far as paid for tuition. These are things that are, in the files. But beyond that, as far as speculation, or it is just speculation as to actual who did what to put Epstein in the position that he was, and Ghislaine Maxwell as well. And so it's
we know that there was enough evidence, though, to get him in jail.
Well, yeah, we do. I'm just saying, everything else is speculation until we read and put it together, and we're not going to get everything.
Right.
It's already gone.
And it's a waste of time and money. Yeah. The DOJ should be working on MAGA and illegal immigrants and not wasting resources on trying to put this crap together that probably won't go nowhere.
So you're for pedophilia.
I'm for being responsible.
No. He hasn't denied it, Suzanne.
I'm for being responsible, and especially with taxpayers' dollars.
I think
you don't want to spend them on sexual abuse cases.
How do you know it's sexual abuse?
Don, what?
Prove that.
Piankis is trying to.
My question: you don't mind, and it's understandable. Your culture does that.
I'm a United States citizen. What are you talking about? My culture?
The culture that you come from, the the place.
I'm a natural-born United States citizen.
Natural born. Okay.
So
I identify as an underage minor who had sex with Donald Trump. So Victoria's Secret models were among guests at the Epstein place. It says Virginia Roberts, later known as Virginia Guffrey, stated in a lawsuit that while working at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort, she was lured into the sex trafficking ring run by Epstein, and while traveling with Epstein, she saw Bill Clinton on the island. There are also Victoria's Secret's models, according to her. Freedom of information requests of records visits. Bill Clinton may have been to Little St. James, but produced no evidence. According to Epstein,
There we are again.
Clinton never flew on one of Epstein planes near the U.S. Virgin Islands. In 2019, Clinton's spokesperson said he never visited the island.
So why are we focused on Clinton?
We're just rounding up the hostages. Jess Staley, former head of Barclays Bank, the bank, visited the island in 2015. The island picked up such names by the locals as Isle of Babes, Island of Sin, Pedophile Island, Orgy Island, or more simply, Epstein Island. So the reputation of the island by the community, that's what they called it. You know, you're going to Pedo Island, you're going to Orgy Island. So, you know, that's an interesting word. Do you know any place that's known as like, hey, you're going to Disneyland Pedo, you know, the Pedo universe? It's a very interesting thing.
Yeah, but that don't mean anything.
Well, it means there's monkey business.
It does not.
Well, here's a question.
Evidence in proliferance is almost honored as fact.
It is interesting that when she says that Prince Andrew had her arm around her and she's wearing a white top with a kind of a rainbowish mishmashed out pants, and then you see and that she was there with Ghislaine and with Naomi Campbell, and then you have pictures from the clubs in that area that they went to with Naomi Campbell and Virginia, and I'm just saying her testimony was very accurate. She was underage, and Prince Andrew denied. That's not my hand. I don't recall taking that picture. That's probably Photoshop. But again, you're right. That in a court of law, you would need, I think, more evidence than that.
Yeah, the club is open. The club is open to the public.
For 17-year-olds, no.
That's up to the club. If the 17-year-old got in there, it's not Epstein's fault or Trump's fault for sure.
The point is there was photographic evidence of him and also of Andrew being there at Manhattan and a girl leaving that's clearly at that age, you know, somewhere between 16 to 18, leaving, and he's and then sees the cameras and shuts the door. I mean, that's pretty damning.
Yeah, but did she give up ID? And then again, how you know the ID is legit?
Yeah.
Well, she was identified years later.
It was enough for the Queen, but it wasn't enough for the court of law. I agree.
Can I just say something in like retrospect? Like, okay, the cat's out of the bag. There's sinners in the crop, and this isn't something you can hide. And it was dirty business, and that's all there is to it. It's not It's not something to be questioned. It was down low, dirty business.
But you don't have any pictures of Trump at all.
Yeah, so I'm not even talking about Trump. I'm just saying this was the thing is a lot of rich people were friends with Epstein, and at the time before he got condemned, nobody thought twice about it. Like they didn't think it was wrong not to be friends with him.
The FBI seized evidence at all these places. So again, who was in charge of the FBI and what, you know, I don't think it's Christopher Wray, but somewhere around that time. I have to do more research. But the point is, you know,
it's pretty much a closed case. Nobody's going to go after anybody
Because the first time was around 2006, so that's Bush, right? From 2000 to 2008, right? And then Obama is 2000.
What's the statute of limitation?
2012 to 2008 to 2016 was Obama.
Right.
Well, the thing is, Bianchi
statute of
Epstein was
limitation?
convicted in Florida. He was
Rape,
found.
Isn't it unlimited? Like that's what they tried to get Trump for this thing of in the 90s with some Jean Carroll.
Who's accusing who of rape?
Well, Jean Carroll accused Trump of rape, and they put a $500 million thing on him, or $250 million.
It was 83 million. It was
no police report, no recollection of the date, the time, or when it.
That was Jean Carroll. This is not Epstein, and this thing where they're trying to color around Donald Trump.
I wish
the
yeah.
FBI seized it at that time, so there has to be who's in charge, who's the supervisor, who was arrested. They have warrants, right? When you go in, they have the arresting officers. You just go in there and you demand evidence. So someone's covering.
Why was the arresting officer there? Who called them?
Well, can we change the subject now?
I think it would be advisable.
Because I just later this week, Bianchi, just go on the internet and look up the charges that Epstein was charged in Florida.
Because you have to have a sheet saying we have a warrant from the judge, we're going in, and it'll say, this is what we brought back. They have a whole listing of that. I'm sure Agent Hoffman is fully versed in the procedure.
I'm not on the internet like you.
Caribbean island.
I'm not retired, John, and I don't study it as much as you, but I've heard information over the years.
Interesting.
And I watched a documentary about in West Palm Beach, Florida, how he was in a wealthy neighborhood. The neighbors knew what was going on. He was charged and convicted, but then even after he was convicted, he spent very little time. They let him off on work release. Like he was charged like 180 days, and like he got out all the time. He got special privileges, way more than anybody else who was housed there, and it was.
Yeah, but that's not against the law.
He broke the bloody law. He was
special privileges?
No, he recruited underage girls for sexual favors in South Florida. It is against the law to give somebody favoritism who is guilty of heinous crimes.
So he recruited, so he went to knocked on some family's door and say, I need to speak to your daughter. Is that how that directed?
Well, you're going to have to look it up.
The police in Florida did follow the girl, and actually, because he was giving her money, and they did a sting and caught him. But Jimmy Kimmel says that Trump's a pedophile, so that case closed.
Yep, I believe Jimmy over everybody.
There you
Trump's
go.
a pedophile over who? Trump had some black girlfriends. I don't think they would have stuck around a person that was a pedophile.
Sure they would for me.
I don't have access to the internet when I'm on the show, so you're going to have to do...
Why come they not being charged for telling?
He had one black girlfriend that you keep bringing up. Big effing deal.
He had a few hot girlfriends. They were very hot. Marla Maples was hot. Stormy, in her time. And then there was another gal at the same time that was head over heels, a brunette.
Stormy,
her name was Karen. Her name was Karen, and she was a Playboy girl.
Was Stormy an adult film star like George Floyd?
She named her implants Thunder and Lightning.
Okay.
I
don't know if I should go to bed or hit the...
That's her business.
Should I go to bed or hit end stream?
What's your next topic?
I'm not sure. Mammograms for Swedish women. I don't know.
That could be the title. Okay, here's a good one.
John, you're in charge of the show. I'm going to take a nap.
You trust me with the power? Oh my goodness. Okay, so this week, Trumpy did a Saudi Arabia deal, met with King Solomon, and then he did the prince or the king offered, about 500 million or 600 million into American investments. And Trump on the spot goes, why could you make it $1 trillion? The guy says, I'm going to make it $1 trillion. Investment into America. And Trump did the flyover, the show off thing, with the F whatever we got, F-18s or whatever. And the the king liked it so much, he wants to buy 100 of them at, X amount. It's like $138 billion deal.
Why? Saudi Arabia is not a warring nation.
Well, they have to keep the peace. But here's the thing is that with all these countries that Trump's making these deals, the tariff deal is basically this. Like, if you build manufacturing in America, we'll cut the tariff or we'll eliminate it. So he's brought in, I think he pumps the numbers. He says about 20 trillion. The White House says it's about, we're getting close to 9 to 10 trillion. But the point is, Canada's GDP is 2 trillion. If you throw in Canada and Mexico with just the business deals that Trump has secured, he's outdoing everything. Like Biden brought in about 1.5 trillion of promised business. So I'm just saying that's pretty significant, and I think that's more important than whether he slept with someone 20 years ago.
Absolutely.
My personal opinion.
Who the hell care about that?
Because, they're all sleeping with somebody at night, all of them, and half of the people are not their wives that they're sleeping with. So I'm looking for the money. The guy can make the deals happen. How does the panel feel about it?
I think that's a lucrative deal. My only question is Trump only has 3 more years of office. How many planes can they build in 3 years?
Who says they have to stop?
I'm just saying, like.
The next person comes in.
In World War II, they was turning out a B-17 every hour.
Okay, so like Saudi Arabia.
The next person comes in. Like Trump has a deal, like say with NVIDIA, and to bring in, drill baby drill, and then the next person says, "Oh, we're going all green and wiping everything out."
So my only question is, Saudi Arabia has an ongoing civil war with Yemen. Like the Houthis will attack Saudi Arabia, and then they might kill like 10 people one week, and then not kill 10 people the next week. So, what do they need all those bloody planes for?
That's they all need Saudi Arabia. Why did Marco's wife need all them damn bloody shoes?
I don't know, cause she got greedy.
Well, I think about 2 months ago,
there's nothing illegal about being greedy.
2 months ago, Iran was launching missiles into Tel Aviv. And here's the question: who loves Mommy Dami in New York? The socialist commie.
Mom Dami?
Yeah, Mom Dami.
I heard it was the younger generation that he's generating hope for. Like that it's going to be more of a community-oriented city, and they're going to find cheap housing for people, and that like they want like to bring people together under some kind of auspices.
Free buses, free groceries for the poor. But basically, someone's going to pay for it, but it's all free under him.
Yeah.
Well, that stuff never works anyway.
I never really followed him. I just saw in the headline news it was a big deal. And
AOC loves him. Bernie loves him. Jeffries and some of the others, they don't want to endorse him, but he's kind of with Nancy leaving and Chuck is out half, 1 foot in the bucket, and you've got Nadler, and he's stepping down. He's not going to go. So they're basically the old guard is getting wiped out. AOC, the squad, Crockett in Texas. She's firing away from the hip. They're all coming, and then Mom Dami he told Donald Trump a personal challenge. He says, turn the volume up. So he's direct challenging him. Hulk, or whatever, Hochul, the governor in New York, has final say with all these things he wants to do. So probably the strategy is he'll say, I want to give you free stuff, but they won't let me. They won't let me tax the rich and wipe them out. So that's kind of, probably he'll say, I need another 4 years or whatever to do what I need to do. But within the first week, like they all do, he asked for money. Say, I've gotten $1 million in. I need 4 million more. I don't get 8-to-1 matching funds because it's out of the election. So it's basically started with, you get free stuff, but I need money to start.
Well, that's what bugs me about all these elections next year. There's 4 candidates I like, including one from Iowa in a wheelchair. I think he won the Olympics in basketball as a disabled person, but John Turek. But like, how can you donate to all these campaigns? You just can't.
You like Fetterman?
Who's Fetterman again?
He's in Pennsylvania. He was the guy who had, I think, a stroke or heart attack, and he could barely talk, and then he recovered. And since then, he's been kind of like the holdout guy. Like, he talks like a Republican, but he's Democrat. He's like, I'm not going to switch sides. But he's saying, why do we fight the border? Why do we fight about trans and women, facing men in sports? Why do we take all these non-issues? And he's like, let's just, don't let the White House, don't worry about what he's building in the thing. Just let's pass the bill. Let's keep Congress open. And so the Democrats want to, probably run.
So is he like, they call it a blue dog Democrat, where he's
because he said Pennsylvania is a mix of both. He says, I'm just in the middle of what's good for my people. I'm not going to take, just the company lines. I think he's smart in the sense that here's how it plays out. Is they get to these situations where they need 1 or 2 votes, and he's going to be the guy that's like, you want my vote, you got to dance. But the thing is, just a couple of days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, he collapsed, and he was having I don't know if it's a little mini stroke. So who knows? Maybe they'll send the right medical team to help him in the hospital.
Well, sometimes, I hate to say it, but like, because John Turek's in a wheelchair and he's also an Olympian basketball hero, like, it makes people more empathetic. Like Tammy Duckworth, she lost both legs. She's the senator from Illinois, the ex-military. Like, having a disability is an advantage.
Well, Fetterman, after the stroke, he could barely talk, and I thought, this guy's a vegetable. Why is he running? And then over the months, he rehabbed, and I mean, he's like, he talks like a Republican.
But it's not why he's running. Why are people voting for it?
Because they like him.
We talked to him. He came to Reno about 5 months ago. So we were able to talk to him.
Do you like him, Don? Do you like his stance, or do you think he's counterproductive?
He kind of sucks, but I think he wants to. I don't know what he kind of wants to do. I don't know if he likes his job, but he's doing it because he could win. So that's something that he's out here. He's just kind of playing around. He's not being real serious.
Well, what about Crockett? How did she register?
How old is Fetterman, John? How old is Fetterman?
Mid-40s? 50, yeah. 40. He doesn't look old. He's not a gray old.
Why did he collapse?
He had a stroke.
Oh. Well, you guys, we've been on the air an hour. Does anybody have any meat and potato subjects they want to discuss?
That's why Fetterman took so long, had to retrain himself to speak and walk.
He did a good job, but boy,
yeah.
Yeah.
He's like a man of the people. Like, he dresses, like with the sweats, and he doesn't do the suit and tie thing.
I found him.
Well, Canada and Quebec, Alberta and Quebec and a few other provinces, Saskatchewan, they're all considering really pushing this movement of seceding from Canada. And Alberta has even gone to the point of their mayor or person in charge, their prime minister has gone to say that she's entertaining the thought of even becoming the United States 51st state. That it would be more beneficial economically for them.
What?
And they're tired of being under Trudeau's, thing.
Well, Trudeau's not in office anymore. He's making out with Katy Perry.
Well, we could trade if we give him Katy Perry, and then we take Alberta or Ontario, one of those.
They have a new prime minister in Canada.
Right, and that one is worse than Trudeau. But under Trudeau, they had suffered a lot of economic challenges because of trade. They were made to only trade with whoever Canada had said, but basically it wasn't helping out these smaller provinces. And so, so anyway, they're really pushing a movement right now. That was in the news. And Quebec is not quite sure yet, but Alberta, they really got a strong movement towards secession.
Well, a very interesting point, and I've shared this with other people. We look at things in context of our lifetime, but if you just go back a couple hundred years ago, Canada was half France, half Britain. Mexico was Spain, right? And Texas, some of that, and Mexico, and we were mixed. We had the British, and then we're wrestling with the French over the halfway through the country. We're trying to divide things up. So the point is, territory and land and ownership that varies all the time. It's just look at history. So we get this fixed thing that Canada has to be Canada. No, what if we merged Canada, Greenland, and Mexico? We would be the super continent.
Okay, you guys.
Our areas. We'd have to kill half the cartels, but the point is we get. Trump is thinking in real big terms.
You're forgetting, John. You're forgetting something really important. That Canada is part of England. And England,
right.
The Royal Crown rules Canada, and now Canada has diversified. They have tons of Asians and tons of Africans up there, and they got their own community. They don't want to be Americans.
Well, that's up to them, but the point is we used to be under England too.
And as far as their deal with England, that is part of the deal that was signed, that they could actually secede from Canada. And
that's how we got New England, New York, New Hampshire. Those are all English names, right? And here's a question, Jane: would you rather be under the Crown and British rule or America?
I'll have more news on that next time.
I would like England to rule America. I think England has a better form of government. England has a better form of government, and out of all the governments in the world, I respect them the most.
Oh, wow. So you bow to the crown.
Yep.
Well, free speech. If you say something to defend someone, they arrest you. They don't have the same constitution of freedom.
And I'm very I'm loyal to Diana's sons.
Wow. It's not Diana's England anymore, though. It's changed so much.
I know.
Free mammograms in England, though, under their.
I'm loyal to Harry and the other one. Prince, what's his name? Why can't I think of his name? William.
He's gonna be your daddy.
Well, all right, guys. I'm gonna say goodnight, and we'll see you next show. Be well and prosperous.
Stay healthy.
Good night, Suzette.
Let's see you all right, Suzette.
Good night, guys.
Good night, Suzette.
Epstein.
Good night,
Thank
Jane.
you.
Give your husband a hug.
Don't get caught with those little girls, Bianca.
Oh man.
Okay, Who's hanging up and who's staying?
What do you want me to do, Jane?
Well, ever since I watched the TV show The Crown, I'm a fan of the royal family.
Really?
I think that they deserve to rule the world.
You're dumber than shit. They're inbred white people.
What's the 5 things or 3 things you love about the Crown?
Okay, well, for one thing, Queen Elizabeth was pragmatic. She never made one irrational decision the whole time she was in charge.
Fuck each other, Jane.
And Prince Charles is politically correct.
Pedophile.
He's always Prince Charles?
You're a pedophile, Jane.
No, I'm not.
You're just like Fiance. You're supporting all of these pedophiles.
Prince Andrew was a black sheep in the family.
Bullshit. You're dumber than snot.
Okay, so Jay, what you're saying is you want people running things that aren't on qualification. It's just who they sleep with.
No, I think that if you listen to Prince Charles' last speech about the Middle East, he's the most prolific world leader that we have right now.
Cool.
Prince Charles!
I mean, King Charles. You're king.
You can't even boil water.
I meant King Charles.
Did you know that he is a direct heir of Count Dracula? The bloodline of Vlad the Impaler. He owns his castle in Pennsylvania.
What?
And other properties. Did you know that?
All I know is he has bad taste in women, but he's smart.
And I bet he did his royal painting. It's all in bloody red pastel. It looks like a gore.
Oh yeah, that was kind of weird. Yeah, but it's not illegal. Some Bible theorists thinks that the royal family is part of the 10 crowns in Revelation. That's gonna part of, what's the word for it? The Antichrist.
Inbred. They're inbred white people.
Not all of them.
Have you heard of Jimmy Savile?
No. Who's that?
He's a bestie with King Charles. Many pictures of him hanging out. Jimmy Savile was a pedophile and you know Dick Clark.
Why does there always have to be controversy?
Jimmy Savile was like the Dick Clark of England, except he liked them young. Really young. And not only that, there are many testimonies of how he would sexually abuse, he's like a rock and roll icon.
Okay, well there was a lot of
hanging with them.
there was also a lot of Catholic priests that sexualized boys, and I still like the Catholic Church.
Yeah, but Catholic Church is all gay and all little boys.
What?
And then, how old was Diana when Charles started fucking her?
She was she married at age 21.
How old was she when she started fucking her?
She didn't blank him till their wedding night.
Oh, bullshit.
Oh, wow. What difference does that make?
Yeah, Don, why are you so anti-royal family?
Remember that pedophilia. You people are accepting of it, and that's why
I don't believe that the royal family.
People are sick.
All
you white motherfuckers are sick.
Okay, Don, I took you off speaker. Just so you know, Queen Elizabeth slept in her own bed. She never cheated on her husband, Prince Philip. They were a monogamous marriage, and you're mean.
Well, we all came from black people, then all black people are pedophiles, right? Basically. By that logic.
I knew a black preacher who slept with his congregation.
Oh, wow.
All right, Don, Pat told me you're going on a cruise to the Bahamas so you can leave early.
Is it close to Epstein Island?
So you guys are going on a cruise? You going on a cruise?
Yeah.
That's
Is
cool.
it Disney?
John!
It's not Disney. No, it's not Disney.
Just checking.
John,
I just hope I don't see Jane and Bianchi there.
kiss my grits. You owe me a vacation.
Okay. Whenever you want.
I tried calling you today and you never answered the phone.
When?
I called in the late afternoon.
Oh, the other day, yeah.
No, today.
Oh, I didn't see it.
I am single-handedly saving all the black people on the planet now.
John, tell Don about your ministry.
Last night I had a black man on our sofa, and then this week I'm delivering a keyboard to a 24-year-old singer, dancer, actress from AM, the American Musical Drama Theater, blah blah blah. I saved 50 kids, 50 orphans this week, paying a COSA's SUV bill, and hopefully he recoups. I went played at the pier and brought a meal for Ernest. He's the brother man who's always there when we play. And like I say, it just that's my mission now. I've got jungle fever.
And he has
What do you think, Don? Can you match me?
John has a black.
Democratic Party.
You've had a black girlfriend before, so stop.
I never dated one. I should probably look into it.